One thing that Kanye West said on stage when he did two songs and took off. I'm not going to talk about the whole thing or do a 16-minute video on Kanye West because I don't care about everything else that he said. But he did say something about the radio. And he said the radio is full of shit and stop listening to the radio. And that's one thing I agree with because my whole concept revolves around the radio, shitty music that's out these days. So, just real quick, and besides that, I think that he spoke a lot of truth, to be honest, on that stage. Jay-Z thing I could care less about. I'm not one to sit there and about drama and all that stuff, but about the radio and musicians these days, artists that are out there that are popular, that are making these songs, don't know how to sing, and the radio is constantly playing them. And you just, all it is just whoever has the most money just gets played on the radio. That's really what it is, It's very rare if you're getting played on the radio because, you're in demand by popular vote or something like that. But I'm just kind of like curious, like, why are we all buying into this crap that's out there? And, you got like Rihanna and all this other stuff and all these other artists that I don't really consider artists, but I don't think they could sing. You compare like the artists these days to artists in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s with Mariah Carey and all that. You got like Adele nowadays, which is awesome. That's keeping me in the game. And there are good singers, but don't get me wrong. I mean, there's good singers nowadays, but yeah, for the most part, terrible. I don't understand why. And it's sad these kids are eating this crap up and buying into it. And you notice like, it's just R&B and hip hop. It's drowning everything else out nowadays. Like in the 90s, there used to be a lot of alternative and stuff. I mean, there's still alternative, but it's really like you had your rock group in the 90s, you had your alternative group, you had your grunge group, you had your punk group, you had this group. Everybody was pretty much segregated because, every genre of music stood out. Nowadays, there's no genre of music that's standing out other than hip hop / R&B. Because to me, there's not a whole lot of hip hop going on. It's mostly hip hop / R&B. You got people that are like, kids, I'm talking about kids, teenagers, stuff like that are into rock and into alternative and all these other, but, they're also into hip hop. And that's cool. I think everybody should be into everything, but kind of just seems like hip hop R&B is taking over. And it doesn't even matter if you listen to punk or rock anymore. You talk like you strictly listen to hip hop and act like you strictly listen to hip hop. And I'm not trying to down hip hop, I'm a big hip hop fan, but the hip hop and the rap these days, I don't care for. I just resort back to all the good music back in the 90s, early 2000s. But yeah, man, he spoke a lot of truth on stage. And I got to say that much. He spoke a lot of truth. Everything he says always comes out crazy, so everybody calls him crazy, but he does speak a lot of truth. You got to say that. You got to admit that. He speaks a lot of truth, and the guy's just passionate. I think he's just overly passionate sometimes, and he does it in the wrong places, wrong times. One more topic I just want to talk about is like, these sites like Reverb Nation and SoundCloud, Bandcamp, and other sites that allow musicians to go on there and upload their music and promote themselves. I would like to know if you're one of those musicians that's watching right now, leave a comment and let me know if you're on one of these sites or whatever site you're on that you uploaded your music on, and let me know how it's working out for you. In my opinion, I just don't see how it works out for you. I don't know. I mean, aren't you putting your music on there so you can be heard, so people can hear you, so people can listen to you, so people can say, damn, you're pretty badass. I want to check out your next show. Where's your next show going to be at? And then you just start coming up from there. I mean, it's just another site or platform you just put your music on, and you end up having to still promote yourself and market yourself. So I don't understand where they are as a middleman. They're just a middleman as a platform, as a site. You put your stuff on. You could make your own site through Wix or something and do that. So maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. The only reason I ask because with our site, our concept is every musician or no musician goes unheard. That's our little motto right now. So, and that's what we stand for. So, in order for us to do that, when we launch the site, every musician creates a profile, obviously. And on that profile, you can sell your album, sell your songs, promote yourself, stuff like that. But our concept is for when the fan or the viewer or the listener, when they, create a little quick profile, like they're just going to basically just sign up with their email address. And then gender, age, that way we can just gather demographics on our side. We need statistics and stuff like that. So basically when that fan goes on there, or that viewer, listener, whatever you want to call it, they go on there, they're going to just, after they sign up really quick, it's like a 30-second process, if that, they just pick whatever genre they're into. And it's going to be a music feed, kind of like a Facebook news feed, if you will. Not exactly a Facebook news feed, but something that is like that, and it's a music feed. So every musician that uploaded their songs, which we are going to do like about 2 or 3 of their best songs, and then I would really like for every musician or band to upload a video as well. It's going to be through YouTube bandwidth, but it's going to be a video where that way the listener can compare how you sound live, how you perform live compared to studio version, because everybody sounds different. So they're just going to go on there and they can share, they can comment, they can subscribe to your profile. That way any updates that you do to your profile or anything, that they'll get notified through their email. Especially if you make it through the process, and we notify them that, hey, your favorite band made it through the process, and which our process is, we're going to keep the top 100 musicians on each genre on that feed votes. So anybody past that 100 mark is going to get booted out. You can't come back and compete again, but you will be booted out over a certain period of time once we start that generator. And that generator basically goes through all the votes and all the statistics and all the numbers, and then weeds out everybody else past that 100 mark. So that's how we get every musician heard, is because there's a voting process and we generate. So if you get kicked out, then all the other people that are bumped up waiting for them to be voted on and stuff like that, they come up and then they get listened to and they get voted on. So that's how we get every musician heard. It's a big process of just voting and generating and getting every musician in there to be heard. There's a few logistics we're working out, but as far as that goes, that's how we're getting everybody heard. So if you guys are wondering, what's going on, we are launching in 2017. Right now it's going to be looking at probably March or April. I say between March and May, somewhere around there. We're just working out a few things, and so just sign up at DittyDum.com for our newsletter. So when we do have our beta launch, where we can go in there and check the functionality and the features and all that good stuff. So I would love for everybody to sign up for that. That way they can participate and say, hey, I think you should have this on there. I think you should add this. I think you should take this off. Doesn't really do us any good as musicians. Or the fans can say, hey, what about this feature? I'd really like to do this if I really like the band, or something like that. So yeah, we would love everybody's participation on that beta launch. And then our actual launch, you'll be notified through email after you sign up through our landing site right now. You'll be notified when the launch takes place. And that way you can go on there as soon as you can and upload your music and create your profile and submit your music, and we'll start the voting process. We're doing mainstream genres like pop, rap, rock, punk, country, R&B, and we're basically sticking to those because if you're trap, or you're some like these other subgenres, those genres paved the way for all these subgenres. So it doesn't matter. I'm not going to put all these subgenres. I'm sorry. If you're trap, you still fit under rap. So, and if everything is basically trap and new styles of hip hop and rap these days, it really doesn't matter. But anyway, that's our concept, that's our process, that's our functionality of the site. So don't forget to go out there and sign up, and you'll get that newsletter of our beta launch and our actual launch in 2017. So that's why we're doing this. My dream is to revolutionize the industry and get as many people on there as possible. And like I like to say, we're putting the music back in the people's hands. Instead of the radio or the industry telling you what you want to hear, you are now picking what you want to hear, what you think is best. And our job on our end, as soon as we get bigger and bigger and bigger, we're going to relay that, and we're going to try to push this and push this and push this into the industry to basically shut them up. And so I see it as a movement. And we're going to expand, obviously, as we go. And we're always going to be an evolving site, and we're always going to stay on top as much as we can, because as far as evolving, I eventually want to put on shows through DittyDum, and we're going to put on shows strictly just featuring musicians through our site, and promoting them and advertising them and marketing them and all that good stuff. And as soon as all that revenue comes in, we get all that traffic coming in, we're going to put on those shows and promote you as much as we can around the country, and eventually when we get bigger, around the world. And then hopefully soon after that, we can start our own label. That way we can sign you. That way we know that you're getting the best deal, and you're not getting screwed by these other labels that are taking a high percentage of the revenue. And ROI, if you will, especially if you're a musician and you're putting in your own time. And so that's where we stand. I have an extensive background in music. I know how it is struggling out there and sitting in recording studios and trying to make all this music, and you know it sounds good, and you have a lot of people telling you it sounds good, but you just can't get it to where you want it to get it, or you want it to be. So believe me, I understand. So I would think you'd want somebody that understands, that's been there before, to really try to make this work out for you and promote you. And all we need is the traffic, really. The more traffic we get, the more revenue we get, advertisements, sponsorships, everything that we need to advance and succeed, and into getting you signed on our label once we open one up. So that's the process, that's the functionality, that's our site, our concept. Hope you guys go on DittyDum.com and sign up. And yeah, again, just don't buy into the crap on the radio. And don't forget to subscribe down below. Leave a comment, like I said, if you're on one of these sites, and like SoundCloud and all that, let me know what it's doing for you, really. If it's really doing something for you, that's great. Either way, just let me know what it's doing for you, on a positive note or a negative note. And I'd really love your guys' feedback. I know when you make YouTube videos and you just started and you don't have a whole lot of subscribers and you're not really out there, it's kind of hard for people to comment, or they just want to, listen to the video real quick and then leave. But yeah, please go ahead and comment. Let me know. Really want to know. So I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks for listening, and peace. Have a good one.